Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Pam. I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm going to be teaching your reading lesson for the week. And what I would like for you to do is get out the book that Miss Kinsey has put in your packet that looks like this. I'll give you just a minute to get that out. And what I would like for you to do is keep the book closed because I want to talk to you a little bit about the cover of our book. If you look on the cover of our book, what do you think is happening? James, what do you think is happening on the cover of our book? I think you're right. I think it looks like there's a daddy and his little girl, and they're making something. Yeah, it looks like they're making something. Grayson, how do we know that they are making something? Do you see a bowl? Boys and girls, can you touch the big brown bowl? Brianna, do you see a measuring cup where they're pouring something in the bowl? Can you point to that? Miles, Grace, what do you think this is? What does that look like? That's right, it looks like a carton of milk. So I am thinking that this daddy and his daughter are making something in this big brown bowl. Now, I guarantee you that most of you have helped bake or make something with your mom or your dad or maybe your grandparents. But before we begin our book, I would like to take a second and just read the title to you so we have an idea of what our book is going to be about. So if you could take your finger and point to the very first word, it says, we make cookies. So I am thinking that this little girl and her daddy are mixing all kinds of ingredients together to make some cookies. Okay, what I would like for you all to do is just keep your book closed, or I'm sorry, I want you to, Ms. Pam, I want you to open up your book to page 3. If you look down at the corner where I'm pointing, you should see the number 3. Now, we're not going to read right now. We're just going to ignore the words, but we're going to look at the pictures. We're going to take a picture walk. And we're going to talk a little bit about how the daddy and the little girl are making their cookies. All right, it looks like the little girl is pouring an ingredient into the bowl from this box. I wonder what that ingredient is. Well, we know it's a word that starts with an F. So in just a minute, Miss Pam's going to read the story to you and we will find out. So there's the first ingredient that she's adding. Let's turn our page and look at the picture on page 4. Now it looks like the dad is adding something different. This ingredient starts with the letter S. So I'm wondering what it is that the dad is adding to the bowl. Over here on page 5, it looks like the little girl is adding something. What do you think that's a picture of right there? What does that look like to you? It looks like a salt shaker. That's right. So it looks like they're taking turns. The little girl is adding what I am assuming is a little bit of salt. Takes a lot of ingredients to make yummy cookies. Now it looks like the daddy is putting in some more ingredients and the little girl's helping him as well. I know you know what those are. That's right, those are eggs. So they're putting in 2 eggs. And over here on page 7, what do you notice? That's right. The daddy and the mom and the daughter are both holding onto that measuring cup, so it must be full of something. What do you think it's full of? Where does our milk come from? Some of our milk come from. What's that picture of? A cow. So I'm thinking that they're adding milk to the mixture in the bowl. Okay, let's turn to page 8. And it looks like they're adding in one more ingredient. It's yellow and it starts with a B. I'm wondering what that ingredient would be. And lastly, on page 9, we know that it's time for them to mix it up. She's got both hands on that, stirring that mixture around. And if you close your book, at the very end, we see that the daddy is putting the cookies in the oven. All right, so now that we've done our picture walk, Miss Pam would like for you to just listen as I read the story to you. We Make Cookies, written by Cheryl Ryan. Now remember, the person who writes the story is called an author, and illustrated by John Kastner. So the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures. Okay, page 3. If you want to just listen and look at your computer screen, that's completely fine with me, or you can follow along. We put in some flour. That's what that ingredient is called, flour. Now, it's not the type of flour that we go outside and see growing or that we see in a pretty pot. Those are flowers that grow outside. This is a type of ingredient that we use when we bake something. It sounds like the same, but it means something different. Page 4. We put in some, what do you think it is? Sugar. That's right, sugar. You see the word sugar here at the end and also on the box. So this is a good time for Miss Pam to share with you a little strategy that sometimes if we cannot sound out a word or we get confused and we can't pronounce it, we can always use our pictures to help us learn vocabulary words. We call those picture clues. So it's perfectly fine if you come to a word that you're not for sure of and refer to the picture to help you learn it. Let's continue. We put in a little salt. So Miss Pam was right. That was a salt shaker. We put in 2 eggs. We put in some milk. I think we have one more ingredient to go. We put in some butter. We mix it up. Dad puts it in the oven. Yum, yum. Ooh, something just popped out at Miss Pam. Look at the word yum and yum. Do you remember the book Yummy Yummy? Y-U-M? I bet that's a word that you could already read, figure out and read on your own from reading the book Yummy Yummy. All right, so that's the end of our introduction to our story, We Make Cookies. Now, tomorrow we are going to be reading the same book, but Miss Pam will have some activities for you to do each day this week that will help us learn to read our story, We Make Cookies. All right, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.